Citizens of Burkina Faso, brothers, sisters, sons and daughters of Africa, listen carefully, because this is not just a speech. This is my final word to the world, to France, and to every oppressor who still believes we will kneel. We were born into a world that told us we are lesser. We were taught their languages, praised their flags, memorized their victories, but we were never taught our own power. Well, today that ends. Today I speak not as a politician, not as a president, but as a son of the soil, a man who refused to bow, and who now declares to all the world, France, we will never kneel again. They came in suits, not shackles, but they were still colonizers. They didn't whip us. They made us whip ourselves. Through poverty, through policy, through shame, they took our gold, our cotton, our labor. But most dangerously, they tried to take our identity. They taught us that to be African was to be backward. That Europe was the model. That if we didn't look, speak, think like them, we were nothing. But listen to me now. We were never nothing. We are everything they feared. A free Africa. A proud youth. A united people. That's why the pain still lingers. Because the whip is gone, but the wounds remain. Let them hear this: Burkina Faso is no longer asleep. We are no longer under the illusion of friendship with France. No longer fooled by aid dressed as chains. No longer distracted by puppet leaders who sold us for applause in Paris. We took back our destiny. We rose not with anger, but with awareness. Not for power, but for people. This revolution is not about bullets. It's about truth. The truth that Africa does not need saving. It needs sovereignty. The truth that we are not poor. We've just been robbed. Burkina Faso is awake, and we will never sleep again. France, you smile in our faces while holding the dagger in your other hand. You call it the CFA franc, but it's nothing but a colonial leash, a system where you print our money, control our reserves, and call it partnership. This is economic slavery. You send your soldiers to protect us, but from what? From freedom, from dignity. You take our uranium, our gold, our manganese, and what do you leave behind? Dust, debt, despair. Well, today we cut the hand that controls the puppet. Let it be known, Burkina Faso will never again be a playground for French interests. We are not your colony, not your mine, not your market. We are a nation, and we choose to be free. Let me say this loud. Europe does not own Africa. Not through your banks, not through your embassies, not through your universities that teach our youth to hate their own skin. You looted our resources. Now you want to steal our minds. You offer us visas while you exploit our villages. But your time has passed. We are not your experiment. We are not your charity case. We are not here to beg. We are here to build. And when you see Africa rising, don't be surprised, because we have risen before, and we will rise again, this time on our own terms. To the youth of Burkina Faso, to the young across Africa, the revolution belongs to you now. I will not always be here, but your spirit must be, your discipline, your dreams, your refusal to settle for less. Education is your weapon, character is your armor, purpose is your bullet. You must not wait for the future, you are the future, so build. Organize, and never, never allow anyone to tell you that you are too young to lead. You are not the leaders of tomorrow. You are the revolution of today. For too long, African leaders were chosen by Paris, not by the people. They wore fine suits, spoke French, and sold our resources like merchants with no soul. But that time is over. No more puppets. If you lead without courage, step aside. If you serve foreign powers, resign. If you fear your people, you are already defeated. Fear has no place in leadership. Only truth does. We are building a new Africa. One where the leader is not above the people, but among them. One where power is not inherited, it is earned through sacrifice. So I say again, no more fear. No more masks. No more betrayal. To the world, hear me. We may not have skyscrapers. We may not have billions in your banks. But we have something more valuable: dignity. I would rather lead a nation of proud, struggling people than rule a palace built on foreign chains. Dignity is when your people sleep hungry, but free. Dignity is when you refuse aid that insults your intelligence. Dignity is when you choose self-reliance, even if it's hard. Burkina Faso chooses dignity. We choose to walk barefoot if it means walking free. Let the world write what it wants. But know this, the fire of dignity burns brighter than all your stolen gold. To the Western powers, let this be your final warning. Africa is not your testing ground, not your military base, not your resource farm, your corporations, your media, your diplomats. They are not neutral. They are agents of control. But Africa is awake now, and we are not playing your games anymore. Try to interfere, and you will meet resistance. Not from governments alone, but from the youth, the villagers, the farmers, the mothers, the students. This is not just political. This is spiritual. A people reclaiming their soul. Africa is not a playground. It is a battlefield of liberation, and we are winning. They will try to bribe us, threaten us, isolate us. But listen carefully, this revolution cannot be stopped. Because it was not built by one man, it was built by pain, by hunger, by injustice. And now, by hope, even if they silence me, the flame will spread. Even if they block aid, we will survive. Even if they sabotage, we will rebuild. Because this is not a moment, this is a movement. A movement with no reverse gear, only forward. I swear before God and the people, my loyalty lies not with power, not with position, but with you, with the mother who sells peanuts on the street, with the soldier who stands guard at midnight, with the student who reads by candlelight. My oath is simple, to never betray your trust, to never trade your future for foreign favors, to never forget who I am and why I lived. If I must fall, let it be standing, not kneeling, not begging, but standing with you. So let me say this one last time, loud enough for Paris to hear, for Brussels to hear, for Washington to hear. France, your reign is over. We are not your empire, not your servant, not your puppet. You will no longer steal our gold, then offer loans with interest. You will no longer install our presidents, then blame us for failing. You will no longer write our story. We will write it ourselves, in our languages, with our dreams, with our fire. So take your flags, take your aid, take your lies. And know this, we will never kneel again.